Imagine showing up at the airport, bags packed for a much-needed vacation, only to be hit with a non-refundable security fee, a stressful 30-minute delay, and the very real possibility of just missing your flight entirely. Well, starting soon, that is going to be the harsh reality for anyone attempting to fly within the U.S. or enter a secure federal facility without federally compliant identification. So today we're diving into this explainer to learn exactly how to navigate the Colorado DMV, get your real ID, and fly without the nightmare of extra fees and airport delays.
Look, bureaucratic processes can definitely feel overwhelming, but we've put together a simple, stress-free roadmap to get you fully compliant. We'll be covering 1. The Real ID enforcement, 2. Who is eligible, 3. Gathering required documents, 4. The application process, 5. Common mistakes to avoid, and 6. FAQs and a final disclaimer.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the Real ID enforcement, because we really need to address the elephant in the room: federal deadlines and what actually happens if you just decide to ignore them. Yep, $45. If you show up to an airport without a real ID or an acceptable alternative like a valid passport, you aren't completely out of luck immediately, but it is absolutely going to cost you. The TSA has introduced this Confirm ID process as a fallback, and they charge a $45 totally non-refundable fee just to verify your identity. But honestly, worse than the fee, this extra screening can take up to 30 additional minutes. And if they still can't verify you after all that, you simply don't fly. To understand why this is happening, we kind of have to look back to the Real ID Act of 2005. Passed after the 9/11 Commission's recommendations, this federal law basically ensures that state IDs meet a strict, federally verified standard. Now, full card-based enforcement officially goes into effect on May 7, 2025. After that specific date, your standard driver's license just isn't going to cut it at the TSA checkpoint anymore. So let's move right into Section 2, Who is eligible? We're going to break down the different credential types issued right here in Colorado. Colorado actually handles different residency statuses through a dual-track bifurcated system. Do me a favor and pull out your current Colorado license right now and just look at the top right corner. If it has a star, either gold or black, doesn't matter, you're already federally compliant. You're good to go. But the alternative is a license with a solid black banner that explicitly reads "not valid for federal identification." That is what's known as a standard credential. It's perfectly legal for driving, but it absolutely will not get you through airport security. So who actually gets the star? If you fall into any of these categories, U.S. citizens, permanent residents, citizens of freely associated states, or if you hold a commercial driver's license, you are fully eligible for the Real ID. However, if you are a non-lawfully present resident or temporarily lawfully present in Colorado, you're going to receive the standard credential instead, which again is great for driving but won't work for those upcoming flights. All right, that brings us to Section 3, Gathering Required Documents. This is where most people get tripped up, honestly, but we are going to make it incredibly simple. The absolute most crucial point here is that you have to bring the exact right paperwork, specifically following the DMV's DR 2300A checklist. This breaks your mission down into 3 clear categories. First up, proving your identity. Think a U.S. passport or a certified birth certificate. Second, providing your social security number. You can use a W-2, or interestingly enough, Colorado actually allows you to just verbally provide the number so they can check it in their system. And third, you need exactly 2 documents proving exactly where you live in Colorado. Now, let's focus on that residency requirement for a second, because there is a massive time saver you really should know about. Unlike your identity documents, which absolutely must be physical originals, you can actually show your 2 proofs of Colorado residency right on your phone. As long as it's a utility bill, a lease, or a bank statement that shows your full name, a physical address, and no P.O. boxes are allowed, by the way, and it's dated within the last year, a simple electronic PDF is completely acceptable. Okay, you've got your documents ready. Let's move to Section 4, the application process, and outline your actual steps for success. You know, going to the DMV doesn't have to be this dreadful all-day affair anymore. By following a specific order of operations, you're setting yourself up for a breeze. Step 1 is the real secret here. Pre-register online at the My DMV portal. This lets you enter all your info ahead of time and generates a confirmation PDF that drastically speeds up your in-person appointment. Once you've knocked that out, book your mandatory appointment online, arrive with your certified documents, and take any required vision, written, or driving skills tests. But wait, which DMV do you actually go to? Pay close attention here because this is a huge potential roadblock. If you're getting your very first Colorado license, or you're transferring an ID from completely out of state, you must go to a state-running DMV office. County DMV offices are highly restricted. They're authorized only for renewals and replacements of existing Colorado state licenses. Seriously, don't waste weeks waiting for an appointment at a county office if you're a new resident. So you've done the work, you're at the right building. Let's make sure you don't get turned away at the counter for a simple technicality. Welcome to Section 5, Common Mistakes to Avoid. It is incredibly frustrating to wait in line, hand over your carefully organized folder, and then just be told to go home. So why do so many Real ID applications get rejected? Well, it almost always comes down to bringing the wrong versions of the right documents. There are a few absolute deal breakers you need to avoid. You cannot bring uncertified photocopies of your birth certificate. You cannot bring a laminated Social Security card. Believe it or not, lamination totally invalidates it for this process. Do not bring promotional junk mail or handwritten envelopes to prove your physical address, and absolutely no P.O. boxes. And importantly, do not bring those cute hospital birth records with the little footprints. The DMV strictly requires unaltered, certified, original state certificates. All right, we are in the home stretch. Let's wrap things up with Section 6, FAQs, and final disclaimer. Just going over a few final details that might throw a wrench in your travel plans. This is perhaps the most common FAQ we see. What if my name has changed? Well, if the name you use today doesn't perfectly match the name on your birth certificate or your passport, you have to prove the chain of your name changes. You absolutely must bring a certified marriage license, a divorce decree, or a court order linking your old name to your new one. And a quick, crucial tip: church marriage documents will not be accepted. It has to be an official government-issued document. Let's circle back to that TSA penalty for a second. If you procrastinate and eventually have to use that $45 TSA Confirm ID process at the airport, I want you to remember this number, 10. That Confirm ID clearance is only valid for 10 days. So sure, it might cover a short weekend trip, but if your vacation is 2 weeks long, you'll have to pay the fee and go through the 30-minute screening all over again just to catch your flight home. Another really frequent question is about digital IDs. The My Colorado app features a fantastic Colorado digital ID. It's incredibly convenient for buying groceries, proving your age, or showing local law enforcement. However, here is the critical warning. The TSA will not accept the digital app for airport security. You absolutely positively must have your physical plastic Real ID card right in your hand at the airport checkpoint. Now, as promised, our mandatory disclaimer. Bureaucracy evolves and rules can and do shift. So please use this explainer as your primary guide and foundation, but always verify the latest details and document checklists on the official Colorado DMV website right before you book your appointment. The enforcement dates are closing in fast, and the consequences for ignoring them are completely 100% avoidable. Don't wait until your next big flight is on the line, leaving you stranded and stressed out at the security checkpoint. Follow the steps we've laid out today. Double-check your current license, gather your certified documents, book your online appointment, and get your Real ID today. The phased enforcement is officially here, and the rules are set in stone. The only question left is, will you be cleared for takeoff?